wish I never met him. I used to think a lot about how my life would be so much better if I never would have met him. I want that part of my life gone. I don't want to think about it anymore. The way I look at it now, I'm like, gosh, why did you listen to him? Why did you keep giving him chances? I wanted so many times to be able to go just tell, but I was too afraid.
I think you're blocking things out. How many people do you know have ended up being murdered? What do you want me to say? I want you to come clean with what you're holding back. It's obvious there's something.
That's when I really started, breaking out inside. Even though I had fear before, it was a different kind of fear. Like, kind of scared that nobody ever feels unless they feel like their life is threatened.
More to this that I want to tell all you guys. Oh, it's horrible. I've been wanting to say something for quite a while.
When I met Tim, I was 16 and he was 19. I don't know if I had a lot of self-esteem. All my friends had boyfriends and I was like, that's not fair. I want one. I was working at my grandpa's little grocery store / gas station and he came in for a hunting license.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. How can I help you?
Well, I was hoping to get a hunting license.
Sure, I can help you with that.
And just as I was filling the hunting license out,
Would you want to go out on a date?
you just are happy because you're like, oh, somebody's interested in me.
I like that.
Yeah?
It made me feel like, oh, yay. It was nice.
Guess I'll see you Saturday.
I thought he was handsome. That's what he looked like when I first met him. I was so young and naive and thought life was going to be different. After I met him, I thought, yeah, maybe I can be happy now, He put on a good act. When Tim and I were dating, we went over to his parents most of the time and just rented movies. One day, we were sitting in the living room on the couch, and his mom was in the kitchen. He didn't like a lot of the foods that she cooked for his dad and brother, but the way that he went about it was hurtful and disrespectful.
Hey, Gina, do you want to stay for dinner tonight? I'm making a casserole.
A casserole? What's the matter with you?
It was blatantly disrespectful. And I was like, really, really startled by it.
Why don't you try and make a meal I can actually stomach?
Make me something else. I'm not eating that. This was like downright just mean.
You don't have to get so worked up.
I'm worked up because I'm starving.
She didn't respond. She just went about making his meal, the one that he wanted. I looked at him and I went, oh my God. I said, if I would have talked to my parents like that, I would have got slapped.
Tim, you shouldn't talk to your mom like that.
What's the big deal?
She's your mother. You should respect her.
Look,
He would say these disrespectful things about women. He said, women need to be in their place. Women aren't good for anything except cooking, and taking care of the man. That's their job. Just very disrespectful. It made me feel really uncomfortable and like a red flag. Like, do I really want to be with someone that's gonna than they should have? Because I'm thinking, well, maybe it's just a 1 or 2 incident thing, and then they're not gonna do it again. Whenever we would go anywhere, Tim would make comments about women that he would see, and the way that he went about it was hurtful and disrespectful. We were on the way to the movies, and this girl was running by. She had a really low-cut top and really short shorts.
jeez.
And he goes, holy look at those. And I was like, what?
Did you see that?
Are you kidding me?
What?
And he's like, she shouldn't be dressed like that. She doesn't want guys to do that. And I said, guys don't have to do that.
She's not a sex object, Tim. What's the matter with you?
But come on.
Grouped all women into being bitches. You're all sluts. Every one of you.
Why else would you wear something like that?
Don't be a pig. Have some respect.
And I was like, there's something wrong with you.
Calm down. You're overreacting. Stop being so sensitive.
You know what? I don't think I feel like seeing a movie. I think I'm gonna go home.
Wait, Gina.
But every time I tried to break it off, he would say, I'm sorry, I won't do that again, and just give me another chance.
Gina. I'm sorry.
You look at them and you think that they're just being so genuine.
I was being stupid. I didn't mean it.
There was something there that just kept pulling me in and just like suckering me.
Let's just go and have a good time. Alright?
But there was something about women that he really just hated. We liked to watch TV together. Tim liked to watch a lot of crime shows. And when we were watching those shows, I feel like he had empathy for the murderer.
Oh, come on. At least give yourself a chance.
And he was kind of rooting for them to get away with it.
You have to know you're gonna get caught if you do something so stupid.
He would make comments about, she deserved it. She probably did something to piss him off. She shouldn't have said this or she shouldn't have done that. Then she wouldn't have been
Snapped.
And then he would say, I wouldn't be stupid enough to get caught.
Just gotta take the proper precautions.
Proper precautions?
Yeah, like, cleaning up trace evidence.
I would ask him, why you gotta watch that all the time? But he insisted, and I had to hear these shows over and over and over again.
Bottle of bleach might have kept this guy out of prison.
It got really obsessive, and years later, light bulb went off. I was like, oh, I bet that's why he was watching all that. So that he would never get caught. Everybody's kind of on edge.
They've called out the Border Patrol helicopter and the sheriff's posse.
In this town, things like this just didn't happen.
My wife saw her jogging. That's the day that she just disappeared, yeah. There's more to this that I want to tell all you guys. I've been wanting to say something for quite a while.
time, but this is what I remember her looking like. I knew Mandy in high school. We were in track together. When Tim and I were dating, I'd go to his house several times a week, and Mandy lived down around the corner. Most days when I went to see Tim, I would see Mandy jogging. And then all of a sudden one day his dad came home and said that Mandy was missing.
Everyone knows her as Mandy, bright, athletic, and vivacious. Her plans yesterday were to catch a movie after a jog with the family dog.
She was running with the dog and never came home. But the dog came home. So everybody was just trying to figure out what could have happened.
The 18-year-old had been home from college for Thanksgiving. Her brother was the last person to see her jogging on this country road near their home.
Local people got together and formed search parties to look for her. Everybody was kind of on edge.
Friends and neighbors all pitched in to search. They've called out the Border Patrol helicopter and the sheriff's posse.
Tim didn't want me to go out and help search.
Tim, everybody is gathering down by the park to help with the search. Maybe we should go join them.
They don't need our help, Gina. They already have plenty of people out there looking for her.
I was talking at his parents' house.
What if I went missing? Wouldn't you want the same thing?
Listen, it's only a matter of time before they figure this all out anyway.
It made me really mad because I wanted to go help. What's the problem with going and helping search? I don't understand why he didn't want me to go.
Can you just drop it?
But I didn't think anything of it. I just thought he was being controlling again.
An exhaustive search goes into its second day since 18-year-old Amanda Stavik suddenly disappeared yesterday afternoon.
A couple days later, he told me that he went off on his own with the dogs and was trying to look for her himself. At that time, I was just like, oh, he's trying to help. And then I remember it being on the news when they found her.
A body has been recovered from the South Fork of the Nooksack River. The body has tentatively been identified as that of Mandy Stavik.
They said either she hit her head or someone hit her on the head, knocked her out. In this town, things like this just didn't happen. When it came on the news, we were sitting there watching.
Can you believe this?
And he just sat there.
Tim?
No emotion, like just stone cold. It made me feel uncomfortable because I was trying to talk to him and he wasn't responding. And I just felt like that was weird. The community just gathered together.
No church within miles is large enough for all the people, more than 1,000 of them, who want to say goodbye to Mandy Stavik. So the memorial service took place at Mount Baker High School, where a year ago Mandy herself sat in this auditorium where her family sits now.
I was at his house, and I said I was going to go.
Hey. Come on, we can't miss the service.
And he said, no, you're not. You're going to stay here with me. You don't need to go.
We have no business going to Mandy's funeral.
He didn't really go to a lot of functions, so I didn't think it was strange that he didn't want to go to the memorial service, but I thought it was strange that he didn't want me to go. The whole town was going to the memorial, but yet we weren't.
Tim, everybody is going.
Yeah, but they were all friends with her. I didn't know her. And you barely did.
But I said I want to help and be supportive, you know?
Tim, these people are hurting.
We'll just stay right here. He would put his hands, like, on my shoulder, like, you know, you're not leaving, you're gonna stay here with me. Tim was controlling in a lot of ways.
It's all just too much for me.
I was mad that he was controlling me. But I decided that I wasn't gonna push going to the service because I thought he was just being weird. You know, like, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought he was being controlling again. I remember distinctively sitting on the couch at Tim's house being mad. Over the years, I've gotten flashbacks of that day. It didn't really make sense to me. Around the time that Mandy disappeared, we had already planned on getting married in June after I graduated.
Listen, I have an idea.
And then, all of a sudden, one day, he's just like, you want to go get married?
Why don't we get married now?
And I was like, I thought we were waiting till June.
What are you talking about?
Well, why are we waiting until the summer? Let's just do it now.
His reason for wanting to move up the wedding date was to be a good Christian and not be living together without being married.
Tim, that's sweet, but I don't even have a dress. We don't even have a
We
venue.
don't need any of that. We can just go down to the courthouse and get it done.
But knowing what I know now, him asking me to marry him when he did was to get them to not look at him as a possible suspect in Mandy's murder.
Lawmen are shifting the focus of their search to her killer, and they need help.
The investigation is still continuing. And again, if anybody has any information about the incident, then we would advise them to go ahead and give our office a call.
I was someone he could hide behind. Back then, I had no clue.
Look, I want to be with you, and I just don't want to wait.
You know, I was just like, well, okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tim moved up the wedding date from June to January. His mom and I went and looked for houses, bought a house, and then 2 days later got married at the courthouse. When the cops came to the house the first time, it shocked me and threw me off.
What's going on?
Mr. Bass.
It's like he turned into someone else.
You'd get married in 90? January 5th of 1990. Well, I was working hard and I figured it was time and stuff. Sometimes I'd work 10 at night to 10 in the morning. And I was just kind of getting going on that night shift. I've done it for years now.
Over the years, Tim worked several jobs, but they were all at night. And I was like, nights? I'd never known anybody to work nights before. He got a night job delivering bread and pastries to local stores and restaurants. He'd leave at like 11 or 12 midnight and get home at 11 or 12 in the afternoon. He was home at that specific time every day. But there were a few times where he wasn't home, and I was like, okay, what's going on? He's not home. Like, he's always home at the same time every day. Why is he not home? I questioned him when he got home.
Honey, I was worried sick about you.
What's the big deal?
Tim, you're an hour late.
So now you're keeping tabs on me.
He got angry, like that I was checking up on him, and like he was kind of defensive.
You could have called to let me know, that's all.
I wanted to hang out with the guys at work.
One of the guys I was working with, we got to talking in the parking lot, and you know, we just lost track of time.
Give me a break.
I never thought anything weird was going on, but several times over the years, I asked him to get a day job because I thought maybe the nights were making him more of a mean person. But Tim refused.
The night shift pays extra. If I switch to days, all of this goes away.
Something seemed a little odd with that to me. When he worked nights, during the day. He'd fall asleep a little bit on the couch and then the rest of the hours in bed. It wasn't very often that he got up, but when he did get up, I noticed he was standing by the window all the time.
Tim?
The window, he doesn't normally do that. So I just kind of over behind him, and then I think he said something like, "Oh, there goes the bitch."
There she goes again.
And I was like, huh? Who's that? There was another girl that was in my class that used to run by our house, and he was friends with her brother. Every time I noticed him looking out the window, she happened to be running by. It's weird because it's like, how would he know when she's gonna run by?
You should really get some sleep.
I didn't find out about him stalking her until many years later. Like, sitting in his truck outside her house, just staring at her house. But I didn't know until after he was arrested. We were together 28 years, and he had me so brainwashed. Those normal things that would click to other people didn't click for me until 20-some years had passed. I hadn't thought about Mandy's murder in a really long time. Everybody in the community knew that Mandy's murder wasn't solved, and we all lived with that. When the cops came to the house the first time, it shocked me and threw me off guard. There was no call or anything, they just showed up.
Good afternoon. We're here collecting DNA for an old case.
They said that they were looking to get the last few people's DNA. They had already gotten a whole bunch of other people in the area, and Tim's was one of them that they hadn't gotten yet. They're just eliminating people.
Listen, man, we'd like to speak with your husband, if that's okay.
Sure. Tim?
What's going on? Mr. Bass, we've been questioning some people who were living in the area at the time of the Mandy Stavik murder.
And you're interested in me?
And then that's when he proceeded to tell them, I don't trust cops. I think you're all dirty and liars, and you can frame people.
You gotta be kidding me. You think I don't know the kind of stuff you guys get away with?
We're just trying to rule out people who could be potential suspects, that's all. It's standard procedure, really.
I'm like, if you don't have anything to hide, why don't you just give it to him? I mean, I really did say that in front of the cops. I didn't think it was a big deal. It's just a story.
I don't feel comfortable with this.
If you change your mind, please, let us know.
Tim refused to give them the DNA, and the cops left. Even after they left, I kept telling him, I'm like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Why don't you just give it? You haven't done anything wrong.
You know what I think about those guys.
But I didn't really think anything of it. I know that's what a lot of people are wondering. How can you not know if cops are showing up at your house? Aren't there some kind of little red flags here and there? No. All the years we'd been together, all those shows that we'd watched, every time he's like, I will never give my DNA. I think that's stupid when people give their DNA. Because once they got your DNA, everybody has it for life, and I just don't want that out there.
Hiding behind their badges, they think they can do whatever they want.
So when they came, it didn't raise any flags, because why wait almost 28 years? I honestly just thought at that moment was, oh, they're just eliminating people.
Who is it? Gina.
When the cops came the second time, that's when I told them to tell me everything.
This time they mean business.
The one thing that is confusing is how DNA would be present on her body.
garbage man would come. That was my routine. But after the cops came that night, before he left for work, he noticed I put the garbage out.
Gina, come on.
And he yelled at me,
You can't just leave this here.
"What the hell are you doing? What, do you want me to get arrested?"
If we leave this out here for too long, someone will go poking around inside of it.
And I'm like, "What are you talking about? They can go get DNA out of the garbage really easy." He goes, "And I don't put them past it to do that either." He goes, "They'll do that in a second."
Tim, get a grip. No one is trying to frame you. This is not that big of a deal.
It is a big deal.
He made me get the trash and bring it back in the next morning when I heard the garbage man coming. I just thought he was being controlling again. Why are you so scared about them getting your DNA? Looking back now, I'm thinking, oh my god, that's a huge red flag. Why did I not see that? He had me so brainwashed. He started becoming paranoid. He would call me several times in the middle of the night, telling me that the cops were following him or that they're sitting at his work. He would get home and the minute he would get home, he'd close the blinds. But then he'd sit there and go like this and look at them all the time. I'm like, why do you keep doing that? Why don't you just leave them open?
What's going on?
And he's just like, because I don't want them open.
Swear to God, they're following me again.
Who?
The cops. Everywhere I go, it seems like I see another one of them.
He'd be like, what was that noise? Go look. It was getting obsessive.
They're not following you.
Even so, I don't want anyone looking in.
And he had to know where I was at all the time. He'd tell me, well, when you're in town, be careful, because, maybe they're going to follow you too.
I'm telling you, keep an eye out. You can't be too careful.
I kept telling him that he was being paranoid.
I think you're making too much of this.
But I did notice that they were around a lot more the past year before he got arrested. The second time the cops came, they wanted to still try to get his DNA.
Who is it? Regina. There's something I need to tell you.
Okay. Before he answered the door, he told me to come in the bedroom with him. Went in the bedroom and he's like,
They've come back for me, and this time they mean business.
there's cops at the door right now, and I just want to tell you that I slept with Mandy.
What?
And I was like, huh? I was like shocked.
Tim, why am I only hearing about this now?
Because I have to tell you. That's why they want my DNA. They must know that I slept with her, and now they want to try and frame me for it.
He proceeded to say he slept with her 3 times while we were together, and that she came on to him. Then he said, the cops are at the door. I need to go get it. He just left me sitting there trying to process what he just told me. My head was just...
We're really sorry to inconvenience you like this. And we're really trying our best to...
When I came out of the room, I walked out and heard them asking, we're just coming back to see if you'll give the DNA.
You gotta give us something here, buddy. I guess I didn't make myself clear enough the first time.
He said, no, I just don't feel comfortable giving my DNA.
I'm not interested in helping.
They kept trying to get him to understand the whole reasoning for eliminating him. And he's just like, nope, I just don't trust you guys.
I'm sorry I can't make things easier for you. I'd like for you to leave now.
I think what they said was, well, if you ever change your mind, then you can just come down to the station. And they left and didn't come back. That's when I told him to tell me everything.
Tim.
Oh my god, it was making me so uncomfortable. I'm like, I gotta get away, I gotta get away, I gotta get away. But I can't get away. How do I get away? after he told me that he slept with her, I just remember I was going to get something out of the freezer to make dinner. And he, like, got really close and almost, like, cornered me.
Hi.
Gina.
Yeah?
Like, he literally had his body pushed against me.
If this goes to court, I'm going to need your help.
Okay. He was telling me, if they ever call you up on the stand, you have to lie and say that you were with me on that day.
I need you to corroborate my story.
And I said, but I don't know if I was with you. And he says, you have to, otherwise I'm going to go to prison. And if I didn't lie for him, that it would be my fault that he was going to prison. That's when I really started, freaking out. For someone to say something like that, I mean that to me. Well, if you don't have anything to worry about, then just give it.
There are things I wish I could tell you.
That's when the major fear began. If I didn't say what he wanted me to say, I felt like he would have hurt me.
You were with me the day that Mandy went missing.
I told myself, just be careful and tell him what he wants to hear.
You'll understand what I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'll tell them anything you want me to tell them.
And I was like, okay, I'll do what you say. It was really hard to live every day after that. I wanted so many times to be able to go just tell, but I was too afraid. I didn't want anything to happen. It just made me fear for my life. I remember, 1 o'clock sticks out in my mind, because typically anywhere from 11 to 12, he texted me saying he was on his way home. And then I didn't hear anything. I kept texting him, he wasn't answering. Something's not right. And so I waited until 1 and then called his work.
Hi, it's Gina. I was, just looking for Tim. He's not home yet.
And they're like, well, we can't really say where he's at. What did he do? And I was like, oh man, he's in jail for punching his boss. Because he would come home from work every day just angry at his boss. Then they're like, well, you're kind of on the right track, but I can't say.
Thank you.
So I head into town to the sheriff's department. I eventually found out that they arrested him for Mandy's murder.
After 28 years, finally an arrest in the case. Today, 50-year-old Timothy Forrest Bass in court for the first time. He recently became a suspect in the case on a tip from the public.
His co-worker, he was a suspect and wanted to help, and that's how they got his DNA.
If it was my kid, I would want someone to help me. We were in the office, he drank a can of Coke, or Mountain Dew, whatever it was, threw it in the garbage can, I grabbed it out, and I turned it over to you, and here we go.
The DNA profile on the cub was a match to the DNA taken from Mandy after investigators say she was raped, then killed.
When I went to see him in jail, he kept saying, I didn't do this, I love you, and you need to sell the house and sell everything you can just to get me out of here.
In court Wednesday, the prosecutor said Bass denied having any contact or relations with Stavik.
a no-contact order, and I was done.
We hope that this arrest will help bring closure to Mandy's family and the greater Whatcom County community.
Maybe he had asked her out and she rejected him, and he was the type that did not like to be told no. Made him angry. Maybe he hit her on the head and then just threw her in the river thinking, okay, well, you're not gonna be able to identify me. I've thought about Mandy not being the only one. When you murder someone, you have it in you to do it again. I wouldn't be surprised if the detectives came to my house and said, we have found evidence that he has killed more than once. I don't know how you can do that to someone and only get 26 and a half years. He could get out and do it again. He could get out and come after me. I feel like if you take someone else's life, your life should be taken. And some people won't agree with that, but you can't rehabilitate someone like that. You can't. But I was in the courtroom since Mandy's murder, and when they said guilty, I just had a sense of relief. Like, finally